Hi everyone, my name's Yvonne and I'm one half of Malcolm Murder Mysteries. Today I'm going to describe to you how to host a murder mystery with one of our digital kits. So firstly, just a little bit about us. We're a husband and wife team based in Central Otago and we write and sell host your own murder mystery party kits. So how do they work? Well, our method is mixing and mingling. So when the guests arrive on the night, they've already been allocated a character, which we'll talk about in a minute, and they will then mix and mingle in small groups, inserting their clues subtly into conversation and generally just being their character for the evening. After a couple of hours, everyone will get together and go over who they think is the murderer, what the motive is, and what they think the weapon was. What do you get when you purchase one of our mysteries? So you get a zip file with multiple files in it. So firstly, there's a hosting document, and that has everything you need to help you arrange your mystery. It's all very simple, and there's lots of tips throughout which help you work out if you want to be a participant in it or if you want to know the outcome. We'll talk about that more shortly. There's a name tag template, and there's also a document which helps with what you might like to send out to your participants. And also there is a PDF file of every single individual suspect card. So what you can do is you can either email your suspect cards out to everybody individually, or you can print them from the document and hand them, whatever is easier for you. So partway through the document, the host will see a page with the suspect list on it, and that is how you then allocate your characters. So we recommend allocating your characters to participants at least a week before, if not more. That allows them to get enough time to get their costumes sorted. Costumes are really important and really make the evening really funny. So there's two lists. This little snapshot here is actually just not the full list of the characters in this particular mystery, but it's just an example. So we have an essential list, and so what you need to do first is give all the essential characters to people and then move on to the non-essential. And that's because all of the essential characters have the important clues to make the mystery work, and the non-essential have maybe the same clues, but also different ones and some red herring clues to get people off track. But the essential ones have everything that is needed to make the mystery work. And also one of the essential characters is the murderer. So one of your participants will be the murderer, and they will know that when they arrive. And then also we have a wee legend. So we have GN for gender neutral, F for female, and M for male, just to help you decide who you want to give the characters to. And lastly, we have an outrageous ranking. So 3 stars, give that kind of character to someone that you think can let loose a little bit, has a lot of fun, is quite loud. 1 star I would give to someone that's very unsure about coming, maybe a little bit nervous. And then 2 star you can give to someone that maybe you're not so sure about or is a little bit less outrageous. They can all be outrageous though. It's whatever the person makes of their character. So even if you give a 3-star character to someone, they may end up, being quite nervous themselves, and it will be a little bit more low key. So it's really what everyone makes of it. So whatever way you do it, it will be perfect. So also throughout the document, like I mentioned before, there are little signs to the host to say, stop reading now if you want to continue. So there's a few options for hosting. So first of all, the host can participate fully. They just get to the suspect list, allocate their characters maybe randomly, and then hand their clues out without reading the clues. Sorry, without reading the suspect cards. Or if you want to read all of the suspect cards just to make sure that you're allocating things to the right person, that's absolutely fine. But you would then know who the murderer is and the outcome. Another option is that you do that, but you still participate anyway because it's still fun. So you've got a few options, however you want to do it. So this is the sample suspect cards. This is our Grinch from our Christmas murder mystery. So you can see that there's a bit of a scenario to start with, it describes what happens. There's a bit of a suspect background, which basically gives each person that's acting as a character just a couple of easy things that they can take and really go with for the evening. So, for example, the Grinch obviously really hates Christmas, hates the cold, so that's really easy to go around being grumpy about Christmas. And then there's a clue, which we've obviously redacted in here because we don't want people to see it, just in case you are doing this mystery. And then so people will, you'll go around talking to different people and say, hey, what were you doing last night when this happened? And then just subtly putting your clues in, because people have no idea that the thing you're saying is your clue, because everybody puts such a good spin on their character that half the time everyone's making up things. And we've been in a lot of mysteries and it's gone crazy, way off what the actual outcome is. So that's quite good. It's quite funny. So what should the host do? There's a few things that the host can do before the event. So obviously you need to hand out your suspect cards to everybody and organize some name tags, and you can organize whatever you want for decoration. So obviously here's pictures of what people have done. They've got a bit of a cutout of a body, or this top, they've got a Santa that's lying on the ground. This person's organized a crime scene board beforehand. Other people have made personalized glasses, name tag, lanyard things. So there's so many options. And then on the night, you welcome everybody one by one when they get there, give them their name tag, and then once everyone's arrived, you read out the scenario and the instructions, and then you let everybody loose. And then a couple of hours into the mystery, you will then do accusations, which I'll talk about now. So you'll get to this point, and especially if you don't want to know the answers, if you're hosting, then you wouldn't read past this page. So there's a few ways we like to do it. If you've got a smaller group, you can just sit around in a circle and everyone gets a turn to say who they think the murderer is, what the weapon they think was used, and what the motive was. And then we usually get the murderer to step forward once everybody's had a go, which is always really funny, seeing what people think has happened. And then another option is if you've got a really large group, so say you've got 40, it's very difficult to do that in circles, in a circle. So then you would get people to write down their guesses and then read out 10 or so, because that would also be very funny to hear what people have said. So hosting tips, we recommend having a bit of a break partway through. You can play a game. So for example, if you've got murder at the races, you can have a bit of a horse race partway through, or fashion in the field. We can recommend taking lots and lots of photos because you'll want to reminisce about it the next day. It's always really fun to see photos from the night before and have fun. So yeah, hopefully that helps, and any time you want, just reach out and ask us questions.